Poppy K and her bookish thoughts, adventures with ogres and astronauts. Poppy K and her bookish thoughts. Poppy K, subscribe, like, comment and share.
Well, hello. Little update on my book, Thread Needle by Carrie Thomas. Let's see how far I am. I am 243 pages in. Absolutely loving it at the moment. I will say, however, I'm just going to sit down, that there are a few things in here that I don't know if there is I don't think there is like a trigger warning, but there is abuse in here, so physical abuse. So if you don't want to read anything like that, then I probably wouldn't read it. But having said that, the auntie who, Anna, her name is, I think then, the auntie, and we only know her as auntie, I think. I don't think we ever get to know her real name yet. So, yeah, the auntie is who Anna is living with because her parents have died. And her auntie is one complete and utter bitch. She is just not a very nice person. If Anna gets anything wrong, then stuff will happen to her, and it's not very nice. She gets punished, basically. But apart from that, it is a very enthralling story, and I am really, really enjoying it. She is basically a witch who lives with her aunt, but she hasn't matured yet into a witch. Her aunt, however, doesn't want her to, because she's like, well, that's what killed your mother and all this sort of thing, because obviously her mum and dad are dead, so she is now living with her aunt, and her aunt is very much against the fact that she's going to become a witch. So she is going to have her bound and become a binder. So this is what is happening in the book so far, but she's met, or she knows somebody, I think is it Selena? I think her name is Selena, and she is an older lady, probably about my age. She's got children and they've been living in America, so they come over and they are going to the same school, and basically they are opening up Anna's eyes to magic, witchhood, and how the world actually works. So yeah, it's really, really good. It's sort of a bit like a coming of age book, a book about a girl finding herself within her witchery. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I actually didn't realise until I went onto Goodreads, I was like, this is actually the first book in a series, and I think the next book's coming out later. In fact, give me one moment. It is Shadow Stitch, the next book that's coming out, but I'm not sure when you can get it. Maybe you can, but I don't know. Anyway, there is another book, so yeah, I am looking forward to finding out what actually happens to Anna, and I'm hoping that she finds herself a little bit more. So I will come back to you. Oh, there was a bit in there about she didn't know how to do, like, make an altar or something like that. And their friends, they've all created their, like, saying what the altar is and all this sort of thing. So I was like, oh, thank goodness, I have the right things on my altar downstairs. Right, I will be back with an update later on. I want to know what happens in this book, but I've got to go to bed. I've got like, that much left. I have, what am I on? I'm on page 535. There's I think it's 555 pages in here. It is currently 8:15 at night. I usually go to bed about 9 o'clock, so I've got about 3 and a bit hours left. I can't do it because I do not want to wake up feeling like rubbish tomorrow. So I was reading this today. I made the mistake of getting into my bed and I fell asleep. So, you know, like that sort of thing. And I feel like I wasted an hour. I could be an hour extra into this. But it's so good. It is so good. I would definitely recommend Threadneedle. It tackles a lot of things that you would have experienced maybe as a teenager, older teenager growing up, going through high school and things like that. But when I do my deep dive, sort of not deep dive, but my little review at the end, it is so good. There are some really good, I might even go online and buy this so I have my own copy, because I am thoroughly enjoying it, and I think my mum would enjoy this as well, actually. So yeah, I think my mum would enjoy it. The representation of the witches has actually been researched very well. Even though it's like an urban fantasy, the historic references and things like that about witchcraft, the witch hunts and all that sort of thing is really good actually in here. So that is a definite ace for me. As I say, there are a few trigger warning type things, so things like child abuse, and also there's bullying in here as well, and fat shaming, I suppose you would call it, or body shaming, but yeah. And there is a few of the bits in there and I'm like, yeah, that used to happen to me at school, you know, that sort of thing. But not that I'm a you know, a witch. Well, I am. Shut up, Casey. Anyway, right, I need to go to bed now anyway, so this is not going to get finished until tomorrow. I'm going to take the other book that I read last week back to the library. Hopefully I'll have this finished and I can take this back to the library tomorrow. And then I am not sure what book I'm going to read next, but we will sort that out when I get to it. Oh, I just wish I didn't have to get up for work so I could finish. But that's life. Well, hello. Little update. I finished the thread needle and I'm going to rate it 4.5 stars. Am I going to rate it that, or am I going to rate it 5 stars? No, I'm going to rate it 5 stars. The twist at the end. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I loved this book. I loved this book. I even went on, because I've taken it back already, hence I haven't got it. It's not here. I took it back to the library today, and I went on my library website thing, and they're actually ordering in the second book. So there's only one, and I think it's only at the Hive in Worcester. So I might have to get it sent over. But because they've only got one at the moment, I reckon everyone's going to want it. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a wait. So that being said, I thought I'd keep on the witchy theme. And I am going to start the Witches of Vardo. This is very poignant to me because it's set in Norway, I think. Yes, Norway, 1662. A dangerous time to be a woman, when even dancing can lead to accusations of witchcraft. Now, I'm intrigued and interested, and intrigued, I think is probably a better word, about the witch trials and things like that. I want to learn more about them. And I like reading stories and things about them, but I also like to sort of find out a little bit. Now, Lucy Wolsey did a series, I think, on witchcraft and the witch hunting and things like that. And I watched that, and she got so emotional at times because she felt so passionate about the fact that these women who were killed basically for nothing, murdered. There's no plaque. I think that there's a tiny little plaque in Pendle, and I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's any commemorative anything anywhere. I don't know about in Salem. I don't know about in America. But yeah, so, and she got very, very emotional. I'm very interested and want to learn more about that. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be reading next. And also, it's quite interesting because next year, my husband and myself are going to go on a cruise up the fjords. So I'm hoping that we're going to stop in some places where there is like witchcrafty stuff. So I've always wanted to go up that way and go up through the fjords and stuff like that. So very much looking forward to that. But that's next year. But, you know, I just thought this would be quite a nice little read. So that's what I'm going to do next.